So in an effort to save you time, here are a list of 5 budget decks within 5 minutes, because who needs ad revenue? Number 1, Lyralust Tri-Brigade. Affectionately titled Bird Up, Lyralust Tri-Brigade is a deck that employs the abilities of some furry-feathered friends to develop an end board of a special summon lock and a negate. Like other decks covered in this list, Lyralust Tri-Brigade can assemble these boards with minimal investment, often only costing 1 or 2 cards in your hand to create a competent end board. Of course, one thing we've learned about combo decks that don't require many engine cards to do their thing, they can play hand traps, and sometimes lots of them. Bird Up is one of those decks. And of course, you guessed it, it's cheap. The Tri-Brigade cards are relatively inexpensive, and the Lyralust cards are hardly worth the card stock they were printed on. Number 2, Pure Shaddolls. While it is not the best deck currently in the format by any means, Pure Shaddolls aim to do what they do best: control. This deck might as well be called Winda Turbo, as Winda can win you games alone against any combo deck in existence. Virtual World has almost no outs to Winda in their extra deck or main deck. Cards like Nail Shaddol Aerial can banish pesky Eldritch spells and traps from your opponent's graveyard before they have a chance to activate, and Shaddol Schism can send any menacing monster your opponent controls to the graveyard so long as it has the same attribute as your Shaddol fusion monsters. In a similar fashion to Burning Abyss, Shaddol can effectively grind, well, forever. All of your Shaddol fusion monsters recur Shaddol fusion spells when they are sent to the graveyard. As long as you have fusion monsters in your extra deck to summon, you can keep on grinding and grinding your opponent out of resources. Shaddolls are definitely a pick for a solid budget deck. Number 3, Dragon Link. Dragons, lots of them. While the banning of Linkcross did take away from Dragon Link's ability to have reliable access to Herald of the Arclight, and the banning of Dragonbuster Destruction Sword did take away the ability to literally auto-win the game, Dragon Link can still be a rogue contender within the proper format. Utilizing 1 to 2 card combos, this deck can utilize a variety of disruption cards contained within the extra deck: Warlord Savage Dragon, Appaloosa, Heavenly Spheres, etc. While I must admit that I am not a particular fan of combo decks, this one might be worth your while if you're looking to tell your opponent no a number of times per turn. Also, given that the majority, if not all, of the cards needed to build Dragon Link have been reprinted a number of times now, it does not require a ton of financial investment to build the whole deck. Dragons have always been a deadly force. Nothing has really changed here. Number 4, Goku. Goku, the deck that nearly broke pre-errata Firewall Dragon harder than any deck had up until Flames of Destruction. Gokis are warrior monsters that, when linked off, search other Goku cards to utilize for additional link summons and further extension. This deck is capable of ending on negation boards utilizing Appaloosa and friends, or has the option of going into Gogi the Giant Ogre, which some decks can struggle to out. In fact, if you can establish some form of negation for Conquistador the Golden Land, even Eldritch can do little but stall in the face of the Gargantuan Gladiator. Additionally, Gogi the Giant Ogre offers some targeting protection, so in the case that you end up in a match with Zodiacs, they might have a bit of a time beating over your big old boy. On top of that, this deck can summon a Churia Beast as well, and given the multitude of decks that use spell cards in the format, i.e. all of them, there couldn't be a better time to summon into a green, fluffy, and fun tiger. Also, when I say this deck is budget, I mean budget. I honestly can't think of an expensive card in this deck off the top of my head. Gokis are a good gamble for a budget boy to pick up. Number 5, Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss is as control-y as it is grindy. With Dante being able to infinitely recur Burning Abyss monsters and the deck being able to assemble a multiple disruption board off of a single tour guide, Burning Abyss is not only budget, but has the potential to be very, very strong in the right format. Additionally, Burning Abyss is not really affected by hand traps. There's some hand traps that do hinder the Burning Abyss strategy, such as Skullmeister and DD Crow, but hand traps generally considered more versatile, such as Impermanence and Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, do not hinder the deck at all outside of Tour Guide RIP. What's interesting about Burning Abyss is the vast number of versions of the deck that exist. Hand Trap Control BA, Trap Control BA, Pure BA, PK Fire, Combo BA, the list goes on and on. Whatever version you pick up, Burning Abyss will always live up to its name, as the deck is straight fire. I hope you all have enjoyed this top 5 in 5, and I'll see you in the next video. You're my heartbeat, my silent drum, that's kicking me till I'm numb.